Okay, the purpose of today's discussion is to discuss why, after we publish, just
For
now
DG.
for DG.
Yeah.
So after we publish the Angular, why it doesn't load until the next day. Okay. So first of all, I go into the AWS account. I log in. Okay. So I need the MFA code, multi-factor code. This is for account. Jump. Account. Okay. Fail. Oh no. Sometimes it forces me to type manually. 026296. Oh, this one is account. 026296. Failed. First is jump.
Oh, I think it expired just before you copy
Okay.
it. This thing will turn red.
Okay.
It needs to
Yeah.
be written.
I have to key in one more time. Okay. Finally. Okay. So when you log into the AWS console, you look at the CloudFront, and after you go to the CloudFront, you see that there are many sites here, right? So if you look at the DG, where's the DG?
Here.
Here, right? Okay, so there are some settings that you need to take care. Now, if you look at the state, use all, cache location, best performance, actually we don't necessarily, because it can be quite expensive. Default root, object, this is the HTML, and then origin, this is the thing, origin, there's no problem, and then behavior. And there's cache based on selected request header. There is a part that I can configure to disable the. I just look at the setting of the other one. I can go back to the top front, and then I go to the one for the account.com. Account.com, this one. Okay. So I just compare the two, and then I look at the origin, behavior, this one, and then straight here. So it's taken from S3, account.com, and none. Cache based on selected request header. Object caching customize. Here I customize. So let's see, this one is the same. This
No,
one
it's
is not,
not.
right? This one is none.
But this is supposed to be customized.
Okay, so customize. So basically, it's the cache function. But how do I specify this?
Here. These things.
Okay. So
02199. Okay, let's go with this.
Oh. See? I told you till next day.
One, none.
Wait a
And
second.
then anything else is different? Can you spot the difference?
Yeah.
No, and then here it's
Okay.
okay, right? So I just see.
How about
check one more
select
time.
event? It's okay, no problem.
This is redirect, get hit. This is
Redirect. Yeah. Because it's not secure. There's still.
redirect, and then this one is get hit. Anything else? Spot the difference level of conflict. This one is this. This is going to dg.account.net. There's a invalidation. This is also important. If you look at the invalidation. So I cancel this. Cancel. This is currently don't have. If you want to invalidate certain object, invalidation means you make the object when it's validated, it is cached. So if you don't want it to be cached, then you have to invalidate it, then it will load from the source. So let's just say if we want to solve another problem, if certain images or certain folder or certain object or path or HTML needs to be invalidated, then we will add it here. But in this case we don't need to, but if that still don't work, the only thing that you need to invalidate is actually the index.html. Because every time you compile the Angular, you will realize that it has got some funny number in the HTML JavaScript that is being generated. So every time you deploy, actually it gives you different JavaScript file. So the only file that is still the same is the index.html. So, and if you want the index.html to be loaded or to be refreshed every time the page is paged, anyway index.html is very small. So even if it is loaded every time, also no problem. But assuming that if the file, the content of the HTML inside the signature of the JavaScript file, there's no change to it, even if you load the HTML, the JavaScript will still be cached. So it is still okay. So that means that when you have faced this problem, actually you need to come back to check the setting of this, especially on the caching part, which is then you should be able to solve the problem. Now we have changed for the DG this one, which is the behavior here, the path pattern. You see this path pattern, that means that this one is actually applicable to all. But if you want to have a certain path pattern, this is a default. But if you want to say certain path / something is cached, certain one is not cached or something like that, you can actually go back to here to actually add let's say the behavior here. I can create a behavior for the path pattern. Let's say I want to say for index.html1, I want to no cache or something like that.
Okay. I understand.
Understand? So your problem is when you publish, you are not seeing it. It's because the caching still store the old copy.
Yeah, and when it expires after this.
Maybe this time.
This
maximum,
yeah, it's almost 1 day.
The maximum amount of time in seconds that you want object to stay in CloudFront caches before CloudFront forward it to another request to your origin. So previously you are putting in a very big value, so it will continue to store there for a long time. Alright. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.